28 April 2023 Morning Murli Om Shanti BapDada Madhupan. Sweet children, the happiness of this Iron Age world is like the droppings of a crown. This world is now about to be gone, and you must therefore have no attachment to it. Remove your attachment from it. Question: which children cannot connect the love of their hearts to this old world? Answer: those who are obedient, faithful, and whose intellects have faith cannot have love in their hearts for this old world, because it is in their intellects that this world is about to be destroyed. This is a game of a magic. It is the pump of Maya. It now has to be destroyed. Dams will burst. There will be earthquakes. Oceans will silence the land. All of this is to happen. It is nothing new. If you remember your sweet home and sweet kingdom, your heart cannot be attached to this world. Song: what can storms do to those whose companion is God? Om Shanti. This is a song based on faith. When we belong to the Father, He comes and becomes our companion. You children know that the storms of destruction come when the Father comes. The Father comes to destroy the old world and establish the new world. There will be earthquakes, and the oceans will swallow the land. The rain from above will silence the land. All of this is to happen. They have just created the song. You children who are the decoration of the Brahman clan know that the old world truly is to be destroyed. The Father has come to establish the new world. He makes Brahmins into the masters of the whole world. He enables the old world to be destroyed and gives you children the kingdom of the whole world as your inheritance. You know that you receive the inheritance of becoming masters of the new world. This old world is of no use. People think that heaven is now created, but all of that is the splendor of Maya. All of those things are just glitter, means glittered. The whole kingdom is like rolled gold. It is like a mirage, and people became happy with that. Earlier, when it was the kingdom of the Muslims, there weren't any aeroplanes or motors, etc. All of this is the splendor of Maya. They make so many plans. Your children know that all of this is to be destroyed. There will be earthquakes, and dams will burst, and water will flood everywhere. People think that all of those things will bring happiness, but they will all only bring sorrow. These aeroplanes are also such that they cause sorrow. Bombs will be dropped from them. Children forget all these things, and this is why their hearts become attached to the old world. Those who are obedient, faithful, and full helpers of the Father, those whose intellects have total and firm faith, know that whatever happens, none of those things are new. The destruction of the old world has taken place many times before, and it will definitely happen again. Those people think that many new things are being invented and that heaven is being created. However, only your children know that all of this is a game of magic. Just as when they polish old gold and make it shine, in the same way they paint this old world and make it beautiful. They continue to make plans for this everywhere. They are not even aware that destruction is going to take place. Only you Brahmins know that the old world is to be destroyed. People say this old world will be destroyed, and then God will come and establish the new world. First of all, He will create Bramha, and then the human world will be created through him. However, they don't know when that will happen. The Father sits here and explains to your children only. Srimat is from God. When you speak of Srimat, it should be understood that these are the elevated directions of God alone. Srimat cannot be said to be of Brahma or Vishnu. Human beings don't know how God comes and gives Srimat through the body of Brahma. Since they think that he is a resident of the subtle region, they don't understand how Brahma comes down here. Therefore, because of not knowing any of these things, they have mentioned Sri Krishna's name. It is not possible for Sri Krishna to have an ordinary form for God to enter him. No one knows these things. The father says, I too had adopted many gurus, but I didn't know anything. I forgot who had given Srimat. The incorporeal one is the most elevated of all, and Srimat is from him. People say salutations to Shiv. His praise is limitless. Only your children know these things. It takes so much effort to make all these things sit in someone's intellect. Devotees now need God's directions. This is fixed in the drama. The God of the Gita came and gave the devotees directions. So how can devotees be uplifted? Devotees say that God is omnipresent. If devotees were God, just what would their condition be? The father sits here and explains that God is just the one and that he comes to protect the devotees. At this time, all human beings are in Raman's cottage of sorrow. No human being, sage or holy man, etc. can give you protection. God has to protect the devotees. People don't know that they are living in the impure world of hell. Heaven is called the pure world. Only a handful out of multi-millions will understand these things. Only you, long lost and now found children of the previous cycle, will come. You became long lost and now found every cycle. Some became this completely, and some are eaten raw by Maya because they don't remember the Father. The vices quickly come to them. When the first vice of body consciousness comes, there would be then a desire for the others too. This is why the Father says, become soul conscious, because everyone has returned to home. Here there is nothing but sorrow. The happiness of the Iron Age world is like the droppings of a crop. Sannyasis say this, and you also understand it. Your children know heaven and hell. There is no happiness in hell. To have attachment to anyone in hell is to destroy your own status. Do not be attached to anything. You should explain that this old world is to end. This world is of no use. When body consciousness comes, your heart first becomes attached to someone. Those who are soul conscious will remain beyond this old world. Their renunciation is limited, whereas your renunciation is unlimited. We forget this old world. It is the one that causes total sorrow. However, there is only a little more for us to do in this world, for it is almost finished. Otherwise, you are guest for only a few more days. So Brahmins themselves say, we are guest for a few days in this old world. We will go to our sweet home and sweet kingdom and experience happiness there. We now have to leave. This old world is to become a graveyard. Therefore, forget everything, including your body. These bodies are old shoes that have to be renounced. You have to stay in yoga. Your lifespan will increase by staying in yoga, and you will claim your inheritance from the Father. The lifespan of those who are body conscious cannot increase. They have love for bodies. If someone's body is beautiful, he or she has love for that body. They would massage it very well, just as they polish vessels. The more you stay in yoga, the more you souls will become worthy of claiming new vessels. No matter how much soap, Vaseline, powder, etc. you put on your bodies, they are still old bodies. No matter how much you repair an old building, it still looks like an old building, and this body is also like that. If you talk to yourselves in this way, your hearts will be attached to the Father and the inheritance. You mustn't attach your heart to anything else. I am a soul and I am going to go to the Father. By remembering the Father, you will continue to benefit and your lifespan will continue to increase. The soul understands, I am becoming pure with the power of yoga. This body of mine is of no use. Even though sannyasis remain pure, their bodies are still impure. Here, no one's body can be pure. Their bodies are not created with poison. Only children know these things. If creation took place in heaven through vice, why should heaven be called viceless? There, both souls and bodies are pure. You know that at this time, even the 5 elements are iron age, and so you receive bodies accordingly. There is then illness, etc. Your bodies there cannot become ill. All of those things have to be understood. Your bodies there are new. The elements become Satupradhan. There is no medicine, etc. there. The body shine all the time. Their bodies become as pure as gold. Now they are like iron. It is a wonder how the body changes even though it is not polished. The body really does become as pure as gold, and that is called golden age. Their bodies are not of gold. Lakshmi and Narayan are called the Lord and Lady of Divinity. Look how Satapradhan their bodies are. They are praised so much. Now even thus 5 elements are Tamapradhan. Bodies here are created with poison. There it is a matter of the power of yoga. Children will definitely be viceless in heaven, lost and great. The enemy doesn't exist there. The Father says, this lust causes you sorrow from its beginning through the middle to the end. That is called the completely viceless world, and this is called the completely vicious world. Each of you has these 5 evil spirits in you. You can gain victory over these 5 evil spirits when you have yoga with the Almighty Authority, Father. For with this power of yoga, you become the masters of the world. Therefore, you are the incognito Shiv Shakti army. The army is having yoga with shivbaba and receiving power. That Almighty Authority Father is the one Godfather who establishes the kingdom of heaven. He comes to make you into the masters of heaven. You are not worthy of heaven. I come every cycle and make you children worthy of ruling the kingdom of heaven. You are now the masters of hell. People say so and so died and became a resident of heaven. They don't understand at all that they are in hell. In fact, no one knows about heaven. It is said, this is heaven for those who have a lot of wealth and prosperity. Oh, but there are so many illnesses, etc. So how could this place be called heaven? The golden age is called heaven. There is no heaven in the iron age. The Father has explained that this is a vicious world. Every woman is Draupadi and Parvati. The Lord of Immortality is telling every woman the story of immortality. Every Draupadi will be saved from being striped. The Unlimited Father sits here and explains these things. That is the viceless world, the totally viceless world where there is no vice at all. When a soul comes and enters a womb, it is completely pure at that time. The soul that comes is pure, and he therefore doesn't experience any punishment in the womb. Here, everyone receives punishment. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost, and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother. The father, BapDada, the spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children. The spiritual children says Namaste and good morning to the spiritual father. Essence for the dharana. First point, consider yourselves to be a guest in this world. Become soul conscious and remain beyond the old world and your old body. Second point, cleanse the soul and the vessel, the body with yoga. These bodies are of no use. Don't be attracted to these old bodies and have attachment to them. Blessing, may you become an incarnation of peace who spreads rays of peace on the world and becomes deity of peace. Explanation, you can see the light of a tiny firefly from a distance. In the same way, let souls of the world, souls who come into contact and relationship with you, experience receiving rays of peace from you special souls. Let their intellects experience you incarnations of peace, having come to give them peace. On the basis of your rays of peace, let all the peaceless souls everywhere be pulled to your place of peace, means Shanti Kund. Now experiment with this power of peace. Slogan, those who pay personal attention to themselves first become introverted before they become extroverted. Om Shanti